It's gone good.
Good. Yeah, we got some pretty impressive reviews back on the ECW336 Wi-Fi 6E access point, right?
Yeah, the longer I sit with the ECW336, in fact, I'm connected to one right now, the more I feel that people should be buying this thing up. Um, yeah, it works really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, it works well with legacy clients, with Wi-Fi 6 clients, with Wi-Fi 6E clients. It's just insanely fast.
Yeah.
So we just had another reviewer post some really good numbers, and they're similar to what I posted. Now, who is this guy?
I don't know if I'll mention names,
Okay,
but yeah, he's an engineer and he does a lot of testing. He does some beta testing for us, but he's a consultant.
okay,
And yeah, he has the ECW336 and the ECS 5512 FP, which is a 10 gigabit switch.
right.
And that's what you're using that switch,
Yeah,
right?
so we want to talk about that real quick. So it's important that if you're testing Wi-Fi 6E access points, that you're using a 10 gigabit switch for your backhaul to your server or whatever your testing station, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, his comment, this we'll call him a reviewer. His comment was you don't. He would suggest using the 10 gigabit over a 2.5 gigabit switch or even a 1 gigabit switch. It's just not. It won't. It's not fast enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of overhead in there. I think you should, because of the numbers he saw. But I think, I mean, obviously the AP has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet.
It's got five.
Oh, it does have five. Okay, so I haven't
Five.
even tested it on five. I've only done it on 2.5. So that's one thing I'll have to do.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But so that may explain why his numbers are a little bit faster, but they're pretty close to mine. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a little bit of efficiency there probably, but my switches are all linked at 10 gigabit to my server, and
Yep.
I'll post both so you can kind of see the difference. That the ECW336 linked at 5 gigabits and one at 2.5 to see if it's worth the upgrade for you.
Yep. Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
here's the numbers that he got. Let me see. I'll turn that on. So he did a open speed test, but he did this locally on his network. We were looking at it. We thought at first it may be an internet speed test, but I think he had his own server set up and he did it locally, and he was getting like 1.4 down, 1.7 up. Now I don't know why those numbers aren't symmetrical. It's something to do with his connection or networking. It could be the access point. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
what I saw when I used iPerf on my local network, I got around 1.4 gigabits down, um,
Yep.
and about the same up. I was seeing the same traffic, and when I did an internet speed connection, I have a 1 gigabit Comcast. My laptop, I just did one now, and I've 1 gigabit down, 40 meg up. I got over 1 gig, 1.143 gigabits down. I got 42 up. So, it'll definitely max out that gigabit internet connection. Um,
Yeah.
when I did a wired test on this workstation with 2.5 gig Ethernet, I got 1.4. So it's very close, right?
It's very close.
Um, so so yeah, the ECW336 with a Wi-Fi 6E client. That's what we're talking about, and it's really fast. So do you have any promotions going on for that still?
Well, you're the one who should be talking about promotions, not me.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, we do. On the ECW 336, we do have promotions, and it's basically it's a buy one get one free
okay,
on
that's
that
pretty
particular.
awesome, and it's pretty much unlimited. You have to qualify, right? They have to qualify you somehow, but
Yeah, not everybody can just come in and
right.
and buy and then try and just attempt to resell. It's really for projects more than anything. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to buy 1,000 of these things and get 1,000 and then sell them
Oh yeah,
cheaply
yeah, that's not
online
happening.
or something like that.
And what
This
about
is,
like people that just want them for their home lab or whatever? Is that allowed in general?
yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so if someone
sure.
just wants a few, let's say they want like 4 Wi-Fi 6E access points, they can buy 2 and then request the 2 free ones from you, from a
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah, the request for the free one has to come to us.
Right. So and it goes to partners@ingenioustech.com.
That's right, yeah. So yeah, on the ECW336, it's a buy one get one. So yeah, I would highly suggest and take advantage of that.
And that brings the price point down to where it's even less than the Wi-Fi 6 access point.
That is right.
Yeah. So, all right. So
The one thing I did want to mention about, sorry, I have people trying to communicate with me while we're talking,
don't
but
look at that.
yeah, I know, I'm trying to ignore. So the one thing I really like about this test, I think he did the same thing, is this person maxed out 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz while doing his 6 gigahertz testing. So
yeah.
In regards to like density, I would say that concurrent users is going to be super high on this particular device. So, if you're looking for deploying like high density kind of situations, this access point will work in those scenarios as well. But yeah, that was one of the nice things that I liked about the testing. And we're going to share more information about this particular test. We're actually going to create a web page for it and share it on LinkedIn and put it in our newsletter. But I like what he did with the testing, and the results are pretty amazing. He even hit 2 gigabit at one point, which is just over 2 gigabit on Wi-Fi speed. So that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty good. And I'll put up both a link to this review and the one that I did, so you can see the difference again between he was linked at 5 gigabit on 10 gigabit switches, and I'm linked at 2.5. I may have to upgrade my switches, I guess. to get faster speeds.
Get on it.
And what else about the 336? I had a couple other points I wanted to make about it.
I don't remember now.
It's got the rebate, and it's fast. That's basically it. All right, so the next thing we wanted to talk about was the ENH500-AX bridges are shipping.
Oh, you want to talk about that already? Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't seen them yet. You've seen them. You guys have done some testing, I guess.
Oh man, so that the ENH500-AX, which Eddie's probably going to kill me for talking about it, but I wanted to talk about it because we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
So we ran some testing at different distances. So this is our outdoor, mainly for point-to-point and point-to-multipoint device. It's used a lot in point-to-point for surveillance, but it can be used for multiple things of like connecting buildings together and things like that. And you currently have the ENH500 kits, right? So
yes.
you already, and that's 11 AC. For the 500 at 50 feet, we saw, this is real world, not clear line of sight and not too high off the ground, 1 gigabit.
1
at 50
gigabit.
feet. Yep. At 100 feet, 935 megabits per second. At 200 feet, we saw 910 megabits per second. So, I mean, you could easily do 20, like in regards to like video, easily 4K. I mean, you could do multiple streams.
And these are one of the first 11AX point-to-point bridges.
The first.
It is the first, and is it gonna be cloud manageable too?
Not. I'll say not yet.
Not yet, but possibly to monitor, not manage, but monitor maybe is what you're talking.
Yeah. Initially, you'll see like a monitoring, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll see more like configuration options.
And with point to point.
Right away.
You don't usually need to change the configuration. In general, they actually ship pre-configured, so you can just hang them up on your building.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing you're going to want to monitor is that the connection. So like in cloud, like you can already monitor like a wireless connection with meshing.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You can monitor like VPN connections. So it'd be very, very similar to something like that. In topology view, you'll see this link and you'll be able to see what the RSSI is, how good the link is, that kind of thing. So
Nice.
And you'll be able to lay it out on a map and stuff like that.
And you'll see that
but
line.
that's not yet. That's
I know
not
it's
yet,
not
so
yet, but
I don't want to.
that will be awesome because then you can see that line. You can just glance at it and be like, "Oh, it's green. That means I have a fast connection," or it's red. There's something wrong here.
Something's awry.
Yeah. So that's awesome. They're going to support that. And the other thing, what I wanted to say about the 336, the Wi-Fi 6E indoor access point, was that it's one of the few cloud-managed Wi-Fi 6E access points out there right now.
Oh yeah, true.
There's others out there. They're not fully cloud manageable yet. They're still like on legacy platforms or standalone.
Yeah, if you're a cloud user today, you can already go in there and you can see that you can configure, the radios on 2.4, 5, and 6, and you can broadcast on those 3 radios as well. We're having somebody else do a review on the 336, a CWNE influencer.
Hey, that's me.
You're a CWNA, right?
CWNA, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, which is totally good. I don't have any of those, but yeah. So you can already make configurations on 6 gigahertz. The nice thing is that you can only do. It's really secure. So, obviously you can only have clients that are operating on 6 gigahertz connect to that access or on that band. Another thing is you have to deploy WPA3 to operate on that 6 gigahertz as well. So, and that's all configurable within the cloud today. And yeah, it is probably one of the only Wi-Fi 6E access points that you can manage via the cloud.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll put a link up to the ENH500-AX kit that's coming in this week. Mine already started shipping, so if anyone wants to grab one of those, I'll put up a link to that, and I'll put up a link to these 2 speed tests. And if anyone has any questions or comments on these, let us know because we want to try testing different ways and see how these things can work in the real world. Like Brian said, they're tri-band, and you can load up all 3 of the bands on the ECW336 and do high density situations with those. For sure.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Remember, like and subscribe. We'll be back next week.